What is up, Janksters? We've got another deck for you today, and this one I am very excited about. So, we are building around Rottenmouth Viper. This card has a lot of stuff going on, and the element that I see a lot of other folks building around is its cost reduction mode. In order to get this onto the battlefield faster than any other 6-drop that you might have, you can sacrifice material on your board to reduce its cost. While that is interesting and kind of a fun idea, and it can result in like a turn 3 Rottenmouth Viper, which is pretty great, the problem with that is, if you run it out that early, yes, if your opponent can't check it, you're going to drain them out and easily end the game very quickly in your favor. If they have something as simple as a go for the throat, however, you're just going to be kind of done. You've done your whole thing. You spent a lot of cards and a lot of energy to get this one creature down. And if it gets checked, then I don't know, the wind is taken out of your sails very, very hard. So I decided to go another route with it. Casting 6-drops is something that I do all the time, especially with creatures. I love cheating out big creatures regularly. So I decided to just ignore the cost reduction element. I mean, maybe it'll come up. Maybe we can get a 5-drop Rottenmouth or something. But for the most part, we're treating it as just a 6-drop, ignoring the cost reduction. And we're getting it into play with cards like Smuggler Surprise. The idea behind Smuggler Surprise with Rottenmouth Viper specifically is that it not only allows us to drop the Viper, for 6 mana, along with another creature, which could be an Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, or a Vaultborn Tyrant, but additionally, it allows us to drop it on our opponent's end step, meaning that we get the Rottenmouth Viper trigger when it enters, potentially 2 if Mama Norn is in the mix as well, and then we go to our turn, and we're going to get an opportunity to attack with it before our opponent gets an untap step. If they don't have instant speed interaction, we're looking at a minimum of 2 triggers with the Rottenmouth Viper that way, potentially 3. And so that can just be absolutely devastating for our opponent, and that's once we get to 6 mana. Well, of course, getting to 6 mana is a pretty tall order these days, so how are we doing that? We have some ramp elements in the Irencrag and Heaped Harvest, but really, this is a control deck. The reality is, right now, the meta has kind of stabilized a little bit, and so we kind of have an idea of what's popular, at least in Best of 1. We have red-based aggressive decks using cards like Heartfire Hero, Slickshot Show-Off, and the like. And for those decks, we're running 3 Temporary Lockdown as well as 3 Elspeth's Smite. We also have Get Lost, which can do some work in those decks, although giving your opponent map tokens might end up being a bit of a hindrance unless you find a lockdown or something of that nature. And in those cases, Obstinate Baloth and Beza are fine. They can gain us a little bit of life and give us a big body on board to block. Now, other decks that are pretty popular are Discard. I don't know about you guys, but on the ladder for the last week or so, I have been going up against Mono Black Discard, I swear, like every 3rd match, right? Well, so we have 2 Obstinate Baloths in the main. If you've never had the opportunity of watching an opponent uptick a Liliana after they, turn 3, tap out, nothing on board, drop Liliana and uptick and feel smug, only to watch an Obstinate Baloth hit the battlefield, I got a 4/4. That's a cool 4 loyalty walker you got there. Great job, buddy. So Obstinate Baloth is just tech against that specifically. We're kind of coming pre-boarded with that. And then we also, again, have Get Lost, Temporary Lockdown, and the like to deal with any kind of early threats that those decks are producing. We also have Sunfall in the mix just because, Golgari mid is out there as well. And all of these pieces can help us line up against those decks too. So we're doing a Selesnya control, and if that sounds a little crazy, well, welcome to Magic in 2024. Things are a little weird and a little crazy right now, and it's a blast. I like this build. It's got a lot of fun applications. We are doing Best of 1 for this. Let's jump on out onto the ladder and see if we can get some wins with this thing. Also, thank you very much for checking out this video. Please like and subscribe, and also huge shout out to my patrons. Y'all are amazing. More about them at the end. All right, let's do this. I'm seeing 2 lands. Neither of them are green, but we do have the Get Lost and Beza. This is very, very risky. I feel like the right thing to do here is mull it. This looks much better. We got the 3 lands. We also have the Obstinate Baloth in the opening hand, which it just makes me feel safe, given how popular Discard is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put Beza away, because if we are going up against Discard, having the Baloth is kind of a big deal. And hey, I'm seeing, black first thing, so that's okay. We're going to have the forest here, so now we have Get Lost open. If they were to drop a 2-drop threat like a bat or something, we can deal with that. Now we have the Lush Portico and the Shadowy Backstreet. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Portico. We're going to get a Surveil. You know what? I think I like Heaped Harvest here. In this scenario, let's get a ramp going. All right, our opponent's on Golgari. We're going to throw a Shadowy Backstreet. Let's get our Surveil going. Actually, I'm realizing I missequenced that. I should have thrown the Heaped Harvest first. So I'm not going to worry about the Surveil. That was just yeah. I could have done that better because we're going to shuffle here. So let's grab a white source here. Cool, and so now we've got 2 green, we've got friggin' 4 white. I probably should have grabbed green to make those even, but we have a forest in our hand as well. Opponent naming Dinosaur. Interesting. Are they playing around a, makes me wonder if they're playing around a Sunfall, which could be a thing. But at the same time, yeah, they're probably waiting to mobilize threats for one reason or another. And here's the Smuggler Surprise. We've got 6 mana. Unfortunately, smuggling in a Baloth seems like a pretty lousy use of resources. So I'm going to throw the Obstinate Baloth. We still have Get Lost open as well as the Heaped Harvest. So we can sacrifice that, go get another land. Nothing wrong with that. Obstinate Baloth is going to gain us 4 life, and then they're probably going to kill it, which that's fine. And they discard T-Rex. Oh, I see what you're up to, opponent. Okay. So that's the dinosaur. Are they doing any kind of reanimation shenanigans, like a Coiling Rebirth kind of a vibe? That would make sense. And it would make me relatively sad. Yeah, if they hit an untapped land, Coiling Rebirth, the T-Rex, then all of a sudden I'm in a lot of trouble. Because it's only 9 damage, but it is 8 poison. And I would need to deal with both T-Rexes, which we have Sunfall. So it's not impossible, but we need to find it. If we don't find a Sunfall, we're pretty hosed in that scenario. Because, yeah, we'd have Get Lost to be able to deal with one of them. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing stuff with Coiling Rebirth these days. I hate it when I'm right. All right. Okay, Elspeth Smite is neat. Problem is Ward. So, yeah. So they swing, they deal 9. Are they waiting for me to concede? Because no, I'm gonna make you do it, because I might draw here. I might draw what I need. You don't have me dead yet. If I don't draw the Sunfall, you have me dead. Probably. Although, we have 6 mana down. If we Heaped Harvest, we get another one. And then the next turn, if we top deck an untapped land, we could Smuggler Surprise for 8, mill a little bit, just pray we find some good hits. But even then, I don't know what we could do that is going to stop this. So is our opponent victory roping us? That's a new one for me. It's possible. It's also possible they simply disconnected or something of that nature. It's far more likely, in fact. All right, so there we go. They're coming on in. They've got Ward. Not much I can do here. Ow, ow. Pain in my face. Pain in my face. All right, so we're going to sack the Heaped Harvest. Yes, we're taking action. Let's go ahead and thin this deck out. The only black pip we have in the entire deck is the Rottenmouth Viper. So, all right, well, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no combination of creatures that ends it this turn, I don't believe. So we could wait until their attack. Yeah, we could wait till they commit to the attack and then fire it. I think that's what we need to do, because we might be able to set up a double block situation and manage to live a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see. So let's grip it and rip it. Nope, that's not right. This is the one. Yeah, there we go. All right. Spin it to win it. We're milling 4 cards. What do we find? Hoping for the best. Although, even, you know, the most toughness we could find is Elesh Norn and a Vaultborn Tyrant. Or like 2 Vaultborn Tyrants or something like that. But even then, we'd have a 7 toughness. We'd have 2 7 toughness creatures. And so we still wouldn't be able to block effectively. So I'm pretty sure they got this. Unless we find a Rottenmouth Viper and they just kind of whiff it. Yeah. Well, that's not it. So yeah, GG's. Oh no, it's their Tyrant's only 6. Okay. You're gonna give me some life in the process. That's we're just kind of spinning a wheel here. Yeah. So they did the thing, and their thing was more impactful than our thing. So GG's, opponent. Yep. Way to hit the nuts. Funnily enough, the Bitter Triumph is what made this happen. If I had not cast out the Obstinate Baloth, they would have been in a position where they had to find some other way to get the T-Rex into the graveyard. Maybe they had it. Maybe they didn't. So I genuinely don't know why we're waiting here. I'm kind of surprised I'm not just done. Because I am done. You don't have to do anything. Just pass. Like, I'll gain some life. You're gonna Bitter Triumph that too? Sure, why not? Like, that accomplishes nothing. The outcome is exactly the same either way. But that's fine. Next game. You know, this hand is very slow. It's very slow. So as long as we're not going up against blitz your face off speed, which, you know, our opponent playing Boros, that might be exactly what we're seeing. Although they didn't have a turn 1, so that bodes well for us, I think. Restless Bivouac. We're gonna whack bivs with the bivouacs. Excellent. I'm gonna get these tap lands out of the way. Trailblazer, let's go. You're a card draw engine. You're a little bit of ramp, and we've got Beza and Tyrant. So if we can plot Trailblazer here, so that not next turn, but the turn after, we actually are in a position where we could cast out the Trailblazer into a 6-mana Smuggler Surprise and actually have 2 things to drop. So if we draw into another big Chungus, that would be excellent, because it would allow us to play out Beza this turn and still have some material for later. You know, as it stands, we're not under any pressure. I think we just wait. So this looks like it might be the Boros control deck. The fact that in turn 3 rolled around and they didn't have a Caretaker's Talent or Urbrass Forge bodes very well for us. All right. Did not find the land that I needed. Oh, never mind. We have the swamp right here. It's blended into the background. Completely missed it. Whips. All right. Here comes the Outcaster Trailblazer in those colors. I'm confident it's not getting counted on the stack. No even interrupter, thank goodness. All right. Now, it's probably going to get killed, like, right here, like, in a myriad of ways. Okay. Yeah, you got it. So, we're not going to draw quite as many cards as I would have liked, although the fact that our opponent just gained life here is actually for the best. So, we're going to go ahead and smuggle for 6. And I need to make sure that I order these triggers correctly, but a Vaultborn Tyrant and a Beza both hit. I want the Beza to resolve first. Perfect. That way, we're going to gain 4 life off this. We don't get anything else because we have an even number of lands. And then, of course, we draw 3 lands. That is usually what happens when I tee up a really good Vaultborn Tyrant turn. I don't know what it is. My luck. Whenever I commit a lot of lands, or whenever I'm able to draw a lot of cards, it usually finds a bunch of lands. And we draw 4 lands in a row. Friggin' cool. Let's get the Restless Cottage out of the way. And I guess we just start punching a bunch. You know, we got 10 power on board. So that can get us there. Hopefully. You're going to lost my Vaultborn Tyrant? That is not hurting me as bad as you think it is. Cool, so you're going to give me 2 maps, and a new Vaultborn Tyrant is going to drop and draw me another land. Alright, here we go. It's just how it goes, man. Just how it goes. 5 lands in a row. Cool. Yeah, and I believe we're running 24. Like, it's not a crazy amount of lands for how expensive our spells are, but sure. Do I get this lost? Yeah. Oh, it was post blockers. Oh, you know what? Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and tap this map. We got a Mama Norn. Do we like that? It's a little late. I mean, yeah, she's still great though, so that's okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and put another counter over here as well, and then. That deck has a lot of... Fountain Port, at the very least, can sacrifice that token for value. So, I'm going to go ahead and just lock it down. Just shut it down, no token. You clearly want that. I don't want you to have it. You know, had you blocked with it, you would have prevented 4 damage. But as it stands, let's get it gone. Also, this temporary lockdown with nothing but a token, having been exiled, you know, that's Rottenmouth fodder, at the very least, which, you know, that's neat. All right, Fabled Passage. I'm just going to crack it. Just kind of hope for the best, you know, because that always works out. Always. That's never problematic. All right. And you know what? I want to beat down as hard as I possibly can. So let's get the Restless Cottage in the mix. And we still have Get Lost open. So yeah, we got 16 damage coming in. This will put them down to 2. If they can crew the bivouac or rock out a fish. If they rock out the fish, it actually costs them 1 life though. So if they do that, and then we hit it with a Get Lost so they don't actually prevent any damage, or you're just going to Get Lost my 7/7, yeah, you're allowed to do that. I'm bummed about it, but here we are. Fish! Lost! Alright. I need to get in for damage. I'm going to get in for damage, doggone it. Alright, pop, pop. Let's go. Cool. So one of the big things about Elesh Norn in this particular build is that against Caretaker's Talent, which I'm guessing this deck is, there's a popular deck running around with Caretaker's Talent in it that looks very similar to this. it stops the card draw from Caretaker's Talent, which is kind of amazing. So, yeah, we have an opportunity to potentially shut our opponent down pretty hard here. We'll see, though. We'll see. Okay, so they find a land there. They got another map token. You might as well crack it. You're either drawing a card or you're filtering. Drawing a card? Sure. Hey, Baloth, what up? Good to see you. So, I have more lands than I know what to do with, just because, you know, why not? Let's go ahead and crew this beast. Oh, you know what? I should have used my maps. Oh, well. Just going to swing it. One of those get lost is going to get lost. We have a two-turn clock here regardless. So, as they block 5. Take 4. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead. They might have means by which to gain life, so I'm going to go ahead and map upon the cottage. Groovy. I want that cottage to be frickin' swole. There we go. The thing was done. Let's go. Let's do this thing. So, this hand is gumpy and awkward and terrible and awful. If I wasn't making content, there is a 0% chance I would keep this. But because we're recording, and I've been drawing a lot of lands as of late, I'm just going to run this out. If we can get to 3 mana, we're going to be fine. We have the temporary lockdown, which Mirrex can help us hit as long as we find a land before turn 3. A white land, that is. And if not, Heaped Harvest can help us close the gap. So this is the riskiest keep I've had in some time. And we're just going to go for it. Also having the Obstinate Baloth if we're going up against discard, which we haven't seen yet today, despite the fact that I came ready for it. So a little bit upset about that, but it is what it is. They're going to take the temporary lockdown from me and make me very sad. Here's the thing about Deep Cavern Bat. Deep Cavern Bat is a powerful card if your opponents aren't running removal. If your opponents are running removal, you just have to take the removal. Like, it's really that simple, because if you don't, they just remove your bat. And then you're kind of just up the creek. So, Deep Cavern Bat by itself is not that great. If you combine Deep Cavern Bat with additional synergies like Essence Channeler, which is one of the strongest bats, it's one of the strongest bats, period, full stop. Then it lines up perfectly. It's very strong. And of course, I got greedy with the keep, so, yeah, terrible mistake was made by me. Shadowy Backstreet, you're a little late to the party, but better late than never, they say. You know what? I need to make sure I'm hitting my land drop no matter what. That's a bad one to be hitting here, but it puts another land onto the battlefield, even with the understanding that it's not going to get us any value right away. If they take the Heaped Harvest, I'm going to be real sad. Real sad, because that was 100% my play next turn. If not, I'm going to have to just forecast the Trailblazer out, or the Outcast Trailblazer, and hope for the best, which, you know, that's not great. Smuggler Surprise, that makes sense. Like, that's a key piece of what I'm doing, so, alright, fair play. So, Essence Chandler getting huge. Yep. So, we throw the Thicket and the Harvest, and yeah, I mean, we've reached a point now where I need to find some removal. So, we've got 2 white sources, 2 green sources. You know what, I'm just going to grab another. And we have a black source, so yeah, I'll grab another white. And this is, and when you sacrifice it, you may search your library. So, fun fact, we can actually sacrifice the Heaped Harvest to our Rottenmouth Viper. The problem is they have 1,000,000 life right now, so that really wouldn't accomplish anything. We really need a Sunfall or a lockdown off the top. And you know what? This Get Lost can do the job because we still have enough white sources so we can Get Lost, the Deep Cavern Bat that has the temporary lockdown under it, and then fire the temporary lockdown and be okay. So, let's see, what do they have? What's the follow-up? So that happens. And then this happens. They still have 3 mana open, so if they have any kind of disenchant style effect, they can really ruin my day here. But if not, alright, if this resolves, at the very least, we get those 7 counters off the Essence Chandler. So now, even if they blow it up, we're going to be okay. Whew, there we go. Just taking a deep breath. We're gonna be okay, maybe a little. We are at 5, so that's not ideal. You're gonna take the Smuggler Surprise. That makes sense. You should. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw the Trailblazer, which is gonna produce. Oh, you know what? That was not necessarily a great move. I was not doing my mana math correctly. I should have thrown Beza there. We can throw another Trailblazer and draw another card, and if we draw an untapped land, we'll be able to sack the Harvest. You know what? I'm going to risk it for those biscuits. Let's go. All right. Draw another one. Dag nabbit. That ain't it. All right. Sad days, but it's fine. It's fine. We're setting up. We're drawing cards. We have the Baloth. We have Beza. They have Zoraline, but they don't have the means to pay for it. They do get to gain some life here, though, which is, you know, not my favorite, but what can you do? I can cry about it a lot. Yeah, that's what I got. All right. So I think it's Beza time. And I'm really hoping that we draw into an untapped land. And of course we don't. We can't have that. All right. I'm just going to start popping. They're at 29, so they're going to be fine. If we'd found an untapped land, we could crack the Harvest, which I do want to do at some point in the not too distant future. Essence Channeler, fart. Yep. All right. So it's going to get gigantic because that's just what it does. Oof, duh. All right. Well, we do have the Smuggler Surprise up now, so that's something. I'm just going to grip it and rip it. So I want the Vaultborn Tyrant because I want to be gaining life here, and then we could throw another Obstinate Baloth. We could throw the Obstinate Baloth to start gaining some life, or we can establish the Rottenmouth Viper. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah. Let's go for it. So this is going to draw us a whole butt ton of cards, and the Viper is going to trigger, which is neat. And we're going to gain 6, which is also fairly neat. All right. Cool, 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 cool. And now we draw no lands. Okay, there we got one. Tight. I hear one is more than none, so that's something. You're not going anywhere. All right. Swinging it. Let us go. So I am only at 10. Which, you know, admittedly, that doesn't bode great for me. But they also don't have the means by which to pay life on board right now. They don't have a pain land or anything. Like, a Caves of Koilos would completely change the game right now. But because they don't have that, the Essence Channeler doesn't have flying. Although I'm realizing Zoraline can pay life. Or they can just do it there. That works too. So this is 8, 9... oh, and that's enough because the Essence Channeler buffs. Dang it, so close. Had I thrown the Obstinate Baloth instead of the Rottenmouth Viper, I would have had enough to survive there. So that was a mistake on my part. I should have thrown the Baloth and just prioritized survival more than turning the corner. So, but hey, good match, good back and forth. Let's go to the next game. Okay. Now, if we're going up against discard, this hand's great because we have the Baloth in it. If we're not, this hand is terrible. So let's go ahead and mulligan that. Counting on that specific situation is a terrible idea. I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and we're going to put the Rottenmouth Viper away. I am really counting on the Lush Portico to help us surveil into another land. If we find a third land, we're going to be fine. If we don't, this is going to suck. Razorverge Thicket, that'll do. That will do. Turn 2 is not going to look very impressive for us, but turn 3 will look, well, not pretty impressive for us. Then turn 4, maybe not super impressive for us, but by turn 5, oh baby, we're going to have a good time. Is that the recipe for success? No, not even a little bit. But we're going to, again, we're going to have fun. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Famous last words, I know, but here we are. Oh, the audacity. Yeah, we really need to find an Elspeth Smite here. Yep. We have not been drawing the elements we need when we need them. That has been the moral of the story, or kind of the sequences today. We're going to take this, and I'm going to grab the Swamp, because we have the Viper in hand. Although, to be completely honest, if we top deck an untapped land here, the sun's going to fall. So, you know, there's that. All right. You know, we didn't find an untapped land. But we found something better. We found a sweeper that completely erases our opponent's board state. That's worth it. We just got off the clock there, which is pretty tight. Corpse of the Lost, sure. That's 3 damage. We're back on the clock, and it sucks. I'm not going to lie. Thank you. I hate it. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Trailblazer directly on the battlefield because it's a blocker. And with this mana that it gives us, we're going to sacrifice the Heaped Harvest, gain 3 life, and go get a land. Trying to hang on. It's not looking great, but we're doing something. Yeah, so they're going to throw up my Trailblazer, because of course they are. And all I need to do is drop a skeleton of any kind. Oh, except not a tap one. Tap one doesn't do the job. Let's go! Hey, Elspeth Smite. That is a lovely sight to see. I do need the Sunfall here, though, just to survive a little bit, although all their skeletons have haste. So, a Forsaken Miner or another Corpse of the Lost, any of that jazz. And we're kind of out of luck. So, Mama Norn is interesting here. Elspeth Smite can deal with Gix, though. So I feel like that's the move. I think we just wait. We smite Gix. We have the incubator back. Cool story, bro. So just like that, Smite's gone, if they know what's good for them. So I'm not going to be able to kill Gix this turn. We're going to be able to chump block Gix. But that's it. If they take anything other than Elspeth Smite, they are messing up big time. Big time. Like, it honestly could not be more easy. Yeah. This is the easiest bat you're ever going to see in your entire life, dog. I understand, take a second, read, like, look at what I'm trying to do. I get that. That's fine. But, like, yeah. The answer is shockingly obvious. Shockingly. I'm at 2. And I have the means by which to exile your card draw engine. Yeah, you don't let me have that. That's, yeah. Could not be easier. And then you swing with Gix. I animate this. If that's removal in your hand, I'm just done. 2 blockers. We get a little bit of chumpity chump action. Sure, groovy. Hit, muy bueno. And then I'm going to Smuggler Surprise on 3, just in the hopes of finding a land here. An untapped land preferably. That's a Fable. And the Vaultborn Tyrant is a crap ton of life gain. That's exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. So buckle up, y'all. Stuff's about to get weird and beautiful and beautifully weird. All right. I'm not in any hurry because Smuggler Surprise is an instant. So here we are. Next turn, we're going to have Norn and Tyrant, and I'm going to draw 1,000,000 cards and gain 3 times 1,000,000 life. It's going to be rad. So you're going to swing. Sure. I'm still going to do this because I just want to gain all the life and everything before you get a chance to, I don't know, before you do stuff. But yeah, so Vaultborn Tyrant, Mama Norn. And so they do have the opportunity to throat Elesh Norn, which, yeah, that makes sense, but I'm still drawing the cards off her, so it's fine. Okay. They do draw the card here, so that's a thing. Sure. Lava Spur Boots. You got it, dog. You got it, dog. Cool. I think we're good. So I'm going to do this to start things off. So the bat's gone. I get my Smite back. This Portico is looking especially lush, and that's going to stay put. I don't... Actually, is that going to stay put? Yeah. We would just sit. Although, unfortunately, we only have the one white source, Auto Tapper. Well, the Auto Tapper, I just dropped a two white pip. Anyway, there we go. We held on long enough, gained enough life so that the skeleton aggro deck wasn't able to finish this off. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and I want to give an extra special thank you to the patrons who help me keep the lights on and keep the show moving. Angry Jellyfish, Dave E, Hal, Carl, Netsash, Big Mamu, and Vance. You're amazing. Thank you so much. And if you, dear viewer, would like to join these folks and help support the content that I'm putting out here, whether it's these deck techs here, the shorts with Piggy Banks, the live stream that I'm doing over on Twitch Monday through Friday, or the articles that I write for MTG Circle, the Magic Jank podcast, you name it. If you enjoy any of the content that I'm putting out on the internet, please think about just dropping in as little as $1 a month over on Patreon. You'll have your name added to these folks, and it just helps immensely. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next one.